What's up, good people? It's been 8 years in ministry. What a journey it has been since then. I cannot believe it. Let's talk. Today's a special day. Today marks 8 years since I began my official journey in ministry, and these past 8 years have honestly flown by, to say the least. I remember it was my first Sunday as a church musician, and now I am media director on support staff. Like, insanity. I cannot believe. So people ask me, what my favorite area of ministry is, and it's never really a solid answer because y'all know I love everything I do at church. I loved my 4 years in music ministry before the pandemic. I'm a church girl who loves music. There are many different forms of worship that the Bible discusses and talks about, but more specifically for me, with worship and music mixed together, it just felt like it was always meant to start in music ministry, and I will always and forever be classified as a church musician. One of my favorite things growing up was the Musician's Corner. Also, I love the chemistry between church musicians. Just look at Jaden Arnold and Christian Brown and Josh Orr and Matt K. Simmons. Like, dangerous is an understatement with them. But I also love my media director position now because, I'm extremely introverted, which you guys would have no clue about because I talk to y'all all the time. So I'm not really in the spotlight like I was every week for 4 years, with the exception of an almost 2 to 3 month absence due to recovering from surgery that did have me on leave for a little bit. But I did sing from the floor with a mic from time to time when I felt good enough to. And over time, as you go through certain things, you just adjust to different things. And in music ministry, that season of my life, I felt like I was more extroverted, as a kid. But now that I'm older, I'm more chill and more soft-spoken. So it's very strategic of God how things would work along this journey. My parents, they handle the people and I handle the business behind the scenes, kind of, sort of. And then too, I also love being on support staff. This role mostly comes into play during weekend events like conferences, special services, things like that. Making sure the people who are on the front line are good, helping in the kitchen, managing multiple aspects of an event like logistics and business. I can do that and I love that. I haven't completely put away my music side in church because I still lead worship from time to time, and it's not often because it's very sacred. I think the problem with young aspiring worship leaders today is that they try to force moments in an attempt for their voice to be heard. This isn't about your voice being heard. This is about worship in spirit and in truth. And if that's not the motive or perspective, then it's not worship. With that being said, I don't have a favorite area of ministry. I love everything I do. And even if I didn't, it's not about me anyway. It's for God. There will always be obstacles thrown at you, people testing you, and etc. But ministry was created for God's glory and not our own. Ministry teaches you self-denial, selflessness, honor, how to handle people on all levels, and it really forces you to put others before yourself. Majority of the time it is decent because it's rewarding serving God and his people. And at the same time, I had to find balance because when you're young in ministry, also a PK, still a regular growing child, and people expect so much from you, you put that all together and it can really be a lot. And I think that's why I have the tendency to do more for others than myself, and why I celebrate others sometimes more than I do myself to an extent, and etc. I can most definitely say I have gotten to a point or place where ministry is not a burden, and I can say that because I feel like the worst years of my life, at least right now, are behind me and over, and now I'm at a place where I'm doing great. Yes, there are some times where ministry is messy and things don't always go how they're supposed to go all the time. You have different people moving at different speeds, and you have to be a peacemaker in those moments and just move swiftly and execute a plan that's going to get things back on track. With me being media director, I am also literally stage designer, meaning I have a very heavy influence on where furniture and sometimes where people are placed on the stage in order to be seen on the camera for different angles. On Pentecost Sunday, I was looking at the stage and the podium was not on the stage, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And I know my dad, like, he lays everything on the podium. His phone, his binder that he preaches out of that has his sermon in it, his song lyrics, like everything. And I had a little anxiety freak out moment because I'm like, why has the countdown started on the live stream and the podium is not on stage? So that's just a little example of hiccups here and there where you have to kind of, foster things in the right direction again. In reality, I really love what I do. Sincerely, I enjoy it. I feel like when your area of ministry changes, you see things differently. When I was in music ministry, I was always near a speaker. So all I heard was vocals and the band playing all the time. The only time I heard the congregation sing is if we cut the music for like a couple seconds and came back in. But now with being in the booth, I don't have the speakers blaring all the time because I'm in the back, and I can also hear the congregation singing during praise and worship, which is so beautiful to me. That's one of my favorite parts about it, is just the congregation's interaction with the praise and the worship and the sermon. And I'm a church girl, so the congregational aspect of church is very, very important to me. Out of all my years in ministry, I have to say that this past year has been my absolute favorite for sure, undeniably. Being young in ministry is not for the weak, but in the end, when you think about who it's for and what it's about, you're willing to literally do anything that needs to be done to bring God glory. It has been an adventurous 8 years of lessons, experiences, a few position changes, and so much more. And I wouldn't change anything about this because this journey has been how it has been for a reason. I am so happy to share such a special day in my life with you guys. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.